Howdy folks, Mark here from Flipside Trading. And this week we want to talk about our Amazon trade for the week of August the 3rd. And we really want to walk you through the different steps of how we choose what direction the trade is going to be in, how we make this a 95% versus an 83% probability of success trade, and what goes into the technical signals that we read and where we actually place the short strike to ensure that success. So here we go. We're going to give you start to finish on what we did with Amazon. So the first thing we need to do is we need to take a look at Amazon and the daily trend, and you can see here that Amazon is definitely in an uptrend. How do we know Amazon is an uptrend? Basically because we have what's known as higher highs and higher lows, right? We got a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Okay, that's the definition of an uptrend. We could also take a look and say, okay, where is Amazon in that uptrend? And we can see right here that it pulled back and it bounced off the support line. Not only did it bounce off this support line, but see this pink line here? That's a 34 EMA, right? The exponential moving average. And you can see that if you look, right, through these last, basically, 3 months, that pink line has really served as the overall trend line for Amazon. So we're saying, okay, it is an uptrend, it did pull back, but now it seems to be bouncing back up and continuing that trend going forward. So that's on the daily side. So now we know we're going to be in this trend only for the next 24 to 48 hours. So we need to take a look at a lower time frame. With a lower time frame we take a look at is the 60-minute time frame. So let's go down and take a look and see what we want to do on the 60-minute time frame and what that tells us. Okay, so on the 60-minute time frame, there's a couple key things to note. First of all, we put this trade on at 8.2, so let's go ahead and mark that so you can see where we are from kind of the trend perspective. There it is right here. So this is the morning where we put the trade on. So we already know that we want to be bullish, but what's going to go ahead and trigger that trade? Well, what's going to trigger that trade is the overall idea of being able to, break this resistance. And you can see that when I go ahead and extend these lines to the right, I'm going to get this cluster, right? This is basically what I call a resistance cluster. We'll extend all these to the right. And so if price breaks through this cluster, okay, then we have a good trigger that, hey, it is going to continue higher. And we're going to look at a couple of things in conjunction. We see it's in this cluster, but we could also see that right now that price has been in this consolidation, right? In this box, it stayed here. Now, even though it's in this box, we can see a couple of things. We can see that the momentum is beginning to increase. So here we go. As we approach this resistance, momentum is increasing, which then tells us the high probability that if this does break out, okay, then it should continue upwards. In addition, we also see that we have what's known as a squeeze here on the 60-minute, which really confirms that we're in this consolidation mode. And once we break that squeeze, again, it signals that we're going to come power in the right direction. All right, so now we're looking at this, we're saying, okay, whereabouts do we want to go ahead and set the short strike? When we set a short strike, we want to have what's known as protective support, i.e. a very well-defined support level that we think that price is going to bounce off. So we take a look at it and we see right here that we have, again, this big spike down, but again, we have kind of a nice cluster, which tells us if we extend it to the right, let's see, that didn't help me there. Here we go. We extend that to the right, and we extend this one to the right. Now you begin to see that there's this zone where, right, price is rejected and the buyers start coming in. So we're going to go ahead and we want to put our short strike underneath this 1769 zone, and we're going to put it at 1765. And we take a look at that, and we look at our overall, the options chart, and we see that it gives us probably like an 83 to 85% probability. But when we add the technicals, right, we add the technicals on the breakout, add the technicals of momentum, add the technicals of protective, in this case protective support, that really kicks up our edge to about 90 or 95%. So all we need now is a trigger. And so what we do is we wait for that trigger, and we do it on the daily time frame, right? Intraday trading on the 5-minute chart. Now look at the 5-minute chart, and again we can see here it is, 8-2, the day we put on the trade. Here's kind of this, resistance zone. We'll extend it to the right. It broke through this resistance zone. Not only did it break through and closed above, but the second 5-minute candle also broke above. Notice here too, pretty interesting, that we have what's known as a nested squeeze. Okay, nested squeeze means you saw the one on the 60-minute, but we also have one on the 5-minute. So what usually happens is the 5-minute kicks off, and that cascades and triggers the 60-minute. So, and that's exactly what it did. It kicked off here. We entered. We sent the trade out right around 8:30, and that would be this bar right here. And you can see that Amazon pulled back just a little bit. It held this overall resistance. Remember, when price breaks resistance, becomes support, and it continued upward. And it continued upward. We had no pressure on this trade. Matter of fact, it was almost at max profit on the first day. You can see here that we closed at 1822. Our short strike isn't even on the chart, right down here at 1765. So we had about a 50-point cushion, and so therefore we generated max profit. Okay, guys, I hope that was helpful. Right, this is how we sell premium. We make ourselves the house. We increase our edge by looking at the technicals, and instead of what the market maker has, about 83-85%, we can then push these up to that 90-95% probability, which really helps us in the long term overall win rate, and we can book the max profit of $220 in that trade within 24 hours. All right, sounds great, guys. We'll be with you again next week, and look forward to talking to you soon. Catch you on the flip side.